Good evening and thank you for joining us right here on the Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. This is a World News at 6. My name is Esther Mwachuku. First off, the top stories. Police arrest 28 suspected cultists in Edo State. Niger Governor Bago begs residents to relocate from waterways without delay. President Tinubu speaks on Eid al-Kabir, asks Nigerians to weather the challenging times. President Tinubu also seeks special prayers for security agencies. DSS arrests two OAU students over protest against Nyesom Wiki. APC sends message to Governor Umar Ena after defection. Two other commissioners dump Governor Ena after Amenobong's resignation. Also, Larry Linka in a very recent dispute blast Amechi over comments on a Monitor television program. Ohaneze knocks Amechi over not Igbo comment. Details now. Thank you for staying with us. The World News at 6 begins with the Edo State Police Command announcing the arrest of 28 suspected involved in court-related activities across the state. According to a statement issued today by the command's public relations officer, Moses Yamu, the arrests were made during a raid on criminal hideouts. He stated that following thorough screening, 19 of the suspects were found culpable and subsequently charged to court. Yamu also revealed that 3 of the suspects confessed to being members of court groups. Now, moving on to Niger State, in an effort to forestall flood disaster, Niger State Governor Muhammad Umar Bago has appealed to those residing at the riverbanks and farmers to be cautious of their activities at the riverside. He stated that there have been warning signs from weather experts of imminent floods this year, hence the need to relocate to safer grounds without further delay. Governor Muhammad Bago, who made this appeal through his deputy, Yakubu Garba, made the call after performing the 2 rakat prayer for Eid al-Kabir at the Mina Central Eid Prayer Ground. He made this statement in a view to prevent a repeat of recent flood disaster that occurred in Mokwa local government area of the state. Bago noted that though pilgrims for 2025 Hajj to Mecca from the state are saying prayers for the state and Niger of Muslim Nigerians is currently yielding result. In the same vein, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has made an appeal for Nigerians to offer more prayers to God for the military and security agencies making sacrifices to keep the nation safe, particularly those confronting terrorists and bandits. He also called for special prayers for vulnerable citizens, urging Nigerians to be their brothers' keepers. President Tinubu made the appeal while speaking with newsmen after observing the 2025 Eid al-Adha prayers at the Eid ground in Dodan Barracks, Lagos. He said the security forces and vulnerable citizens should be at the top of the prayer list. At the prayer ground, the Chief Imam of Lagos State, Sulaiman Oluwatoyin Abunola, urged the Muslim faithfuls to remember and reflect on Abraham's sacrificial life. The Chief Imam called on worshippers to live in peace and consider the needs of their neighbors, the poor, need to chant briefly after the lecture proceedings. The event, which was held in Ile-Ife, was attended by several dignitaries, including the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, former Governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, and former Benue State Governor Samuel Otem. At the time of filing the report, the DSS is yet to release any official statement on the incident or confirm the students' current status. Wike, who served as Governor of Rivers State between 2015 and 2023, was appointed Minister of the FCT by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in August 2023. Since his assumption of office, the FCT administration has been under scrutiny for its aggressive urban renewal efforts, which have involved the demolition of buildings deemed illegal or structurally unsafe. Now, the All Progressives Congress has welcomed Akwa Ibom State Governor Umo Ena to the party and assured him Governor Uno had earlier issued a clear directive to members of the State Executive Council, asking those unwilling to join him in the APC to step aside. While speaking during an executive council meeting 2 weeks ago, Governor Eno said, "It's no more news that I'm moving. If you don't know that by now, I don't know what else you know." So we want our commissioners and members of EXCO appointees. I'm told that some of you are saying that you will not come. You are free, absolutely free, not to join me, but you won't be in my state executive council. You better just be prepared to resign the day I announce that I am moving, because you're an appointee and your loyalty is to me. You cannot be in my cabinet and play anti-party. It's not a threat. And still on the world news at 6, however, developing issues have commenced with a back and forth between Larry Olayinka and Wike's spokesperson concerning Amaechi's comment. Larry Olayinka, the senior special assistant to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has accused the former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amaechi of eloping to Ghana to seek refuge during the political crisis in his state. Olayinka made a statement today via Monitor television program claiming that Wike held the fort and faced fire in Rivers State when Amaechi left. He was reacting to a statement from Amaechi describing Wike as a child. Olayinka retorted that the child Amaechi referred to had defected him in 2015, 2019, and 2023. He said when Amaechi ran to Ghana and was hiding under the wrapper of his wife, Wike was in Rivers leading the charge to bring Amaechi back as governor. When the Supreme Court gave the judgment that Amaechi should return as governor of Rivers State, he was in Ghana. Who went to Ghana to bring him back because he couldn't face the fire here? It was Wike. Wike stayed to face the fire. He also disclosed that the renewed rivalry between Wike and Amaechi has not hindered the FCT minister from performing his duty. He disclosed that Tinubu is scheduled to commission several projects completed under Wike's leadership. Now, the Igbo social cultural organization Ohaneze Indibo Youth Council Worldwide has slammed former governor of Rivers State Rotimi Amaechi over his recent comment after his earlier claim of being Igbo was merely a political ploy. Amaechi, while speaking to a crowd of supporters at the All Progressives Congress presidential campaign in Aba, Abia State in 2015, said, "I am a bona fide Igbo man. My name is," and that as usual, we should be patient with him. Do you think Nigerians are tired of hearing that recurring statement?
Well, saying that Nigerians has weathered the
challenging times.
The one that is down needs no fall. So Nigerians are already down.
Okay.
Nigerians are already down. So we cannot be more down than we are. Understand me? So that's the situation. We have been hearing this since 2015. There's no adjective that they have not used to quantify their incompetence. Buhari was using a bitter drug, which would, even though if a bitter medicine, even though it's bitter in the mouth, it will end up healing the whole body.
Okay.
So we had that for 8 years. So in the past 2 years, what we have been hearing, we understand what you are going through, and we are doing something about it. As I say, Nigerians are down. So there's nothing that we can do.
There's nothing we can do.
You
don't think that there is more that we can do in having to support the president?
Somebody that told you that he would that he will widen or the tax net and diminish your purchasing power. So we are where he put us. Understand? Because how many Muslims were able to buy anything? This I saw some people, 10 people sharing a ram. 10 people.
That's why the president said that he knows that these are challenging times and that Nigerians should endure. We can weather this, and that time will actually...
Because they know that we are down already.
Okay.
Understand me? So he has achieved his mission. He has impoverished the other people.
President Tinubu impoverished the people. This impoverishment has been on since the previous administration. It just got worse now. So why would you
Okay,
attribute it to the
thank you
preference?
for admitting that it has got worse. I expected you to say that it is getting better.
Well, some food items seems to have slashed. I mean, compared to what it used to be before, staple food items,
Compared to what it used to be in 2023 or
compared to what it was about a few months ago, or even earlier this year, or even at December last year, actually.
so if somebody lives an economy for you at 60% and you are still running within a 10-20%, do you think that you are doing well? So the life of Nigerians are far better under Buhari than in Tinubu's administration. That's a fact.
Interesting.
That is a fact. Tinubu, what you mean that he wants to start governing from his from this year,
Okay.
and that's all that he has been saying. He has admitted that his 2 years was a waste.
Okay.
That's why he said that you are going to start noticing the working of my understand me. So he has already admitted that his 2 years was a waste.
All right. Let's look at the back and forth between Olayinka and what happened today. I'm sure you watched that interview where he was calling out Ruben Abati. It got so bad where he made some comments about Rotimi Amici. Do you think that was supposed to be, would you call that response classic? I mean, conversations now around our political sphere when there are endemic issues in this country and you're having persons on national television speaking back and forth in derogatory manners. Would you consider this a distraction from the reality on ground of what Nigerians are currently going through?
Well, we have noticed a pattern in this country. Anytime things is going bad, Wike will come out and do his meet on the press to create a distraction. But there's no way you can distract a hungry man. You can only distract a hungry man with food.
Okay.
Any other thing is a waste of time. So what Abati and Wike's aid is doing is their own. That's Ondayinka or whatever is his name, is just showing how little he knew. He's showing how little he knew about what happened in Rivers State from 1999 to 2025. Understand? Because he wasn't part of the story, he wasn't in the picture.
Okay.
So he was just hazarding a guess of what was happening.
Interesting. All right, Mr. Peter Onosike, he made a statement at the time. He said that it was very condescending, actually. I wondered why it had gotten to this point between these two individuals. So it was his right of reply anyway, speaking on behalf of his principal. But as it stands, you would wonder when these two certain individuals who supposedly made different remarks, but it's not just Larry Olayinka saying what he's saying today that got the reaction from a lot of people. Ohaneze Indibo too is calling Rotimi Amici out, where he said that sometime in 2015, Rotimi Amici identified himself as an Igbo man. He even spoke the language. I'm sure you must have seen one of the videos at that period in 2015 during the campaign season. And then during a Monitor television interview, he said that he doesn't identify as Igbo, but it was a comment he made to address the marginalization that the Southeasterners were going at the time. And this is a person that recently spoke about the fact that Nigerians are docile, Nigerians are not questioning the government on power, Nigerians deserve what they are going through, and that he can beat Tinubu. Nigerians can actually, vote out the president come 2027. If you have all of this as your criteria, which is not really plausible in the eyes of a lot of people, what makes you different from the person you are castigating who is currently in power?
Well, he is just speaking out of confidence.
Okay.
And he is always trying to be politically correct.
Okay.
Tell them what will make them happy. Okay. Understand? At this point in time, you can be yendo in the morning white in the evening. Understand me?
Yellow in the morning, white in the evening.
White in the evening.
Okay.
So, and that's when they talk about character.
Yeah.
It shows that Rotimi Amechi character is questionable.
So if
such a person cannot be trusted.
that's now where I'm coming from, for example. So if it's seen in this manner, last week on his 60th birthday, he made quite a lot of comments or revelations where he boldly, categorically stated that he told President Bola Ahmed Tinubu he would not support him because he feels he doesn't have the capacity to govern. And you have been in government for almost 20 years. You know, in that capacity, you've been serving in different capacities as someone who has benefited from the government. And according to what Leroy Lainka is saying, you just for 2 years, you've not been in government, and already you're saying you're hungry. They don't believe when he said that he's hungry.
No, it's a political statement. Okay, Amechi has stolen more than enough.
So now the coalition...
I'm using that word stolen because in 1999, he was nobody. Understand me?
You believe that he stole?
Amechi has stolen... Amechi was PA to Ordinary when Ordinary was running his hospital. So it's Ordinary that said, come and run for State House of Assembly. I'm running for the governor. So he ran because of Ordinary's influence. Ordinary made him speaker. So he was speaker for 8 years, governor for 8 years, minister for 8 years. Understand me? And that's how many years? 24 years.
24 years.
So he didn't buy fuel, a liter of fuel with his own money for 24 years. So just saying that he is hungry, he just wants to sound politically corrupt. Politically correct. Rotimi Amechi is one of the most corrupt politicians in this country.
So if that is the case, how come the coalition is pitching him? Because Peter Obi is still strategically trying to look at, with the structure on ground and the persons who either want to work with him or what political party he could be part of that represents the kind of political talisman that he wants to represent. And when they were talking about the coalition, when they felt like his reaction or his response to what's certain...
Okay. 2 hours before Tinubu emerged, there were instructions that Buhari saying that it is Rotimi Amechi that he is rooting for.
Okay.
And during Rotimi Amechi's 60th year birthday, what happened? It was Tinubus men Buhari's men that were there. Understand me? It was Buhari's men that it was a convention of Buhari's men. That simply showed you what happened in 2022.
Okay, do you think Buhari supported President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with what trends of us have heard? But let's just listen from the horse's mouth.
Building of infrastructure to enhance road architecture and return on investment. Please, our dear governors, let's work together. Don't give planning approvals without collaborating with the Surveyor General of the Federation and Ministry of Works on these roads. Please, I appeal to you. And I'm glad the Deputy Governor of Lagos State is here. Take it that we will...
That Sawonu shouldn't have supported the impeachment without getting permission from him.
So are we saying the entire 25 or 23 lawmakers who wrote for his impeachment when Obasa briefly traveled, are we saying the police that came to Obasa's residence when he was not around, that stormed his residence when he was not around, are you saying that the installment of Mojishola Miranda at the time, all of this was a supported plan by the governor of the state without the president's consent?
I say the governor was in support of the impeachment because Obasa has not been giving him the respect.
But the GAC was carried along, the Governor's Advisory Council, and if they saw it fit to also go along with the impeachment, then who is in charge of the Governor's Advisory Council? Is it not the president?
Tinubu is the knife patron as well as the owner.
Exactly.
Understand me?
Okay.
So for me, this is the beginning of the crisis.
What I'm trying to say is this. If the Governor's Advisory Council, the president is the one that is a grand patron, he's the main owner, he formed the Governor's Advisory Council. Obviously, for that kind of thing to take place where the lawmakers wrote an impeachment against Obasa, the GACs were actually carried along. So how do you attribute it to be that it was the governor of the state that stoked it, that supported it? Obviously, whatever decisions that has to do with the state government or even with the governors or the party, the GACs carried along, and obviously the president is aware of it. So how would we say that it was Sanwo-Olu and not the president?
For me, assuming that they got Tinubus consent, what happened wouldn't have happened.
So you think decisions were taken without the president's consent? That's why Obasa was quickly reinstated.
Yes, because he is thinking of the next election and not what is happening in the state.
So he doesn't believe that Sanwo-Olu can deliver the state for him in 2027?
Because Sanwo-Olu is a civil servant and not a politician. And Tinubu has formed that habit of using civil servants or non-politicians as governors. Fashion that wasn't a politician. Ambode wasn't a politician. Understand me? So he wants to be running the politics, let them be running the government. That has been the idea. Understand me? And once you want to go into politics, he will kick you out.
Once you think that's what happened with Ambode?
That's what happened with Ambode.
Do you think
Ambode wants to build his own structure?
And he did not want it.
No.
And you think the same thing almost happened with Fashola?
You are not supposed to build a structure. The only structure in Lagos State is Tinubu.
Well, not everybody will agree with that summation, Mr. Peter Anosike. People in Lagos State and their politics also have their individual thoughts. You don't believe that one man decides everything for everybody.
Tinubu is the godfather of the state. In Lagos State, they have only political organizations. The justice group and the mandate.
The justice group and the mandate.
And the mandate, understand me? So and he is presiding over these two.
The president presides over the two.
Sure.
So meaning that nobody can have any independent thoughts.
You cannot even appoint the JAC. Is supposed to appoint commissioners.
Okay.
The JAC are supposed to bring out the local government chairman. So if they don't approve, you cannot emerge.
Interesting.
Understand me? So, and for them to approve, it must be Tinubu that Tinubu was allow him let him go another term.
Okay.
Period.
So do you think that's what happened during the primaries ahead of the July 12th local government elections? We saw a couple of persons protesting, and they protested because of imposition of aspirants.
JAC writes the local government chairman in all the states, in all the local governments.
Interesting. So do we see a possibility of this whole situation being resolved?
Being a result between the
president and the
the governor is in his second year. Understand me? It's his second term. So you cannot say that he cannot go for another term. And impeaching him now might not go well.
All right, Mr. Peter.
So I feel that Tinubu may want to manage him till 2027.
2027, although we don't know another prospect, another anointed son for 2027.
But it should be Obafemi Hamzat.
Interesting. Okay, so finally, before I let you go, let's look at stories outside the shores of Nigeria. Are you a Trumpite?
A strong believer in Donald Trump.
All right. Since you're a strong believer in Donald Trump, how would you describe the seeming verbal altercation between Trump and Elon Musk, someone he was very close with?
Well, it's a matter of interest.
A matter of
It's
interest.
a matter of interest. If you have been following what is going on in America, mind you, the beautiful bill, which is the bone of contention now.
Okay.
When Donald Trump went to present the beautiful bill, and Musk was part of those that drafted it.
But Elon Musk came out to say it's a lie.
He
that
was
he
part
didn't
of those
see it.
that drafted it.
So why would Elon Musk
But
then
he
deny?
didn't see the end of it. That is going to affect electric vehicles.
And that is his forte.
And that's his so it's a matter of interest.
Because he said that without him, Trump wouldn't have won the elections. And then Trump said that he described Musk as a man who has lost his mind. So
Well,
they are supposed to have a secret meeting where there will be talks to resolve it.
Even before now, Americans go and check that the poll.
Okay.
Over 55% of Americans don't like Elon Musk. Understand me? So they are even saying that he is weird.
Okay.
But I feel the crisis will be resolved.
You think so? Because I think they're to meet today to have conversations.
Yes, and
Tesla's his Tesla, SpaceX, and Starlink have direct contracts with the U.S. government. And on Thursday, what's his name? Elon Musk walked back from an earlier threat to decommission a crucial SpaceX spacecraft used by U.S. astronauts. So he was